Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, the FAA rescinds a safe requested proposal to allow greater simulator use. Cape Canaveral schedule includes 24 launches in 2015. And Mitsubishi Regional Jet starts full-scale systems and structural testing. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm Ashley Hagel. Less than a week before it was to take effect, the FAA pulled the Society of Aviation and Flight Educators requested direct-to-final rule to allow pilots up to 20 simulator hours towards an instrument rating. The unexpected move leaves pilots limited to the 10 simulator hours allowed by FAR 61.65. A safe analysis found only one adverse public comment to the proposed change, which was filed December 17th in the FAA's docket. However, an FAA spokesman said that the FAA is required by federal regulations to withdraw any direct-to-final rule if even one adverse comment is received. SAFE countered the adverse comment with an immediate SAFE protest, labeling the comment as, quote, a personal opinion lacking substantiation and contrary to current education doctrine regarding use of training devices, end quote. But regardless of the SAFE protest, the FAA stands firm on dropping the proposed change to simulator use. The only option now is to go through the standard, complex, and time-consuming process of changing the existing rules. A schedule recently released by the U.S. Air Force includes 24 rocket launches from Cape Canaveral in 2015, which would make it the world's busiest spaceport in the coming year. It's reported that this schedule is the most crowded since 1992, and 2016 will be even busier, with 36 launches planned. 14 of the 2015 launches would be for SpaceX, with the remaining 10 slots held by United Launch Alliance. The first launch for 2015 has already occurred, which was the SpaceX resupply mission to the International Space Station on January 9th. Also on the schedule is a test flight of the SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket, which was powered by 27 engines and will lift off from a refurbished Space Shuttle pad. Of the ULA missions, 8 will be Atlas V boosters and 2 will be Delta launchers. After the break, Mitsubishi Regional Jet starts full-scale testing.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send us an email to jim@aero-news.net. Mitsubishi Aircraft Corporation started full-scale testing of the Mitsubishi Regional Jet in anticipation of its first flight scheduled in the second quarter this year. They're calling this aircraft the MRJ. They performed the first engine run for the right side engine of MRJ's first flight test aircraft and verified the total operations of the aircraft's various systems. The company also performed the wing-up bending test on the static strength test aircraft at the strength test station. The wing-up bending test produced anticipated results. Mitsubishi Aircraft remains firmly committed to the success of the first flight with an on-track progress of the upcoming tests, such as functional test and engineering test. Every Tuesday, we look ahead to some of the most interesting events in the aviation universe. Here's this week's Aero-Calendar. Good weather or bad weather, it doesn't make any difference at the 2015 eFest Indoor Electric RC Festival. Hosted by Hobbyco, it all happens on January 24th and 25th in Champaign, Illinois at the University of Illinois' Track and Field Armory. Attend this cyber event from home. The NBAA is holding a webinar regarding safety culture for pilots and aircraft operating companies. It's being held January 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Check the NBAA website for details. Here's an event for our readers out west. The Rio, Colorado 99s are holding their 10th annual Flying Poker Run on January 31st out of Lake Havasu Municipal Airport in Arizona. Food and prizes are part of the deal. On January 31st in Santa Fe, New Mexico, the 99s are also holding a Flying Companion Seminar. This one-day ground course targets the non-pilot passenger or those who may have apprehensions about flying in small aircraft. Check the 99's website for details. And last but not least, the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds will perform their first public flyover of 2015 on February 1st in Phoenix, Arizona. You may have heard of this little event. It's called the Super Bowl. After these messages, a flying club launches in Palm Springs.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulation.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro standby instrument. TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a segment we call Around the Patch. A flying club can be a great way to go, and Palm Springs Aviators Incorporated now have a Piper Dakota at Palm Springs International Airport. It's the first and only flying club to be established in the Coachella Valley. Chuck Hagel, the outgoing Secretary of Defense, says that the U.S. needs to move now on development of a replacement to the B-2 stealth bomber, which first flew 25 years ago. He's concerned about falling behind in modernization. Piper Cherokees will arrive en masse at EAA AirVenture 2015. Registration is now open for the scheduled fly-in day of Saturday, July 18th. 50 or more Cherokees are expected to show up. Embraer has been busy. They delivered 30 commercial and 52 business jets during the fourth quarter of 2014. They closed out the year 2014 delivering 92 airliners and 116 business jets. Their order backing is at $20.9 billion. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's move on to the rest of the news. The EAA reports that they and the general aviation community are already well ahead of the curve when it comes to finding ways to reduce GA loss of control accidents. Because of several years of progress through the FAA's General Aviation Joint Steering Committee Working Group that studied those accidents. Loss of control accidents in general aviation gained visibility when the National Transportation Safety Board named it as one of the top 10 most wanted list of transportation safety improvements. EAA's Sean Elliott said, quote, EAA has been a very active member of this committee's working group, which is focused on using verifiable data to find causes and the best way to address the issue, while not wasting time and resources on solution that would have only a minimal impact, end quote. The EAA played a critical part in a new ruling that improves safety by allowing a qualified experienced pilot to be a second crew member during flight testing of a home-built experimental aircraft. Well, that's today's program for Tuesday, January 20th. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace news anytime at aero-news.net. Remember, Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday, and sometimes we'll have additional breaking news bulletins. Please join us in a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news. I'm Ashley Hagel. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you tomorrow.